I'm live though, just FYI. Think I'm gonna put on some mood music. What am I gonna play? What to play? What to play? I wish I could play that song Into the Mystic. I'm not gonna play any music. Hello, good evening. This is High Priestess Jamila. It is a shame the way they blacklisted my channel, but to be honest with you, I believe that my views are off the Richter scale. I don't believe YouTube would actually be able to pay me for the views that I get. I believe I'm above PewDiePie status. Like it, like when I see three people in here, it's so off the Richter scale that it's actually 3 trillion. I believe everybody watching me, for real. It's got to be because, we're living in a world where I'm just watching people go nuts. And so I wanted to come by and talk about Roseanne Barr, who did a podcast 7 days ago with her son, um, where she casually um, mentioned bringing back toxic masculinity. And first of all, I want to say this about Roseanne. I love her for years. Loved her show. Um, what's the name of Roseanne's show? I can't even think of the name of it at the moment. But I used to watch her show, and I really enjoyed it a lot. Looking at Roseanne right now, um, I would say that either she is under possession. Okay. I would say that she's either under possession or they done cloned and replaced her. Now, y'all know they do stuff like that in Hollywood. I truly believe that they do clone and replace people in Hollywood. Like, that's one of the things that I don't talk about it much, but I do believe that they do that because Roseanne used to be a woman, okay? And a woman is a woman is a woman is a woman, okay? Now, I want to point out the show that I watched was the podcast that she did several days ago. And there was a very serious mind control tactic that was used to um push out this narrative of pretty much patriarchy, which I don't understand why these dudes keep trying to bring back patriarchy. It is not the time to do that. Let patriarchy go. Let it go. It's not doing nothing for men. It's not doing nothing for women. And it's certainly not doing anything for children. In fact, patriarchy, misogyny, and toxic masculinity is it's what leads to what she was talking about. So she does this podcast about Alfred Kinsey. And we all know who Alfred Kinsey was. Alfred Kinsey is a notorious child molester who was able to hide under the guise of science and actually do harm to thousands of children and babies at his institute. He even wrote a book about it. It is what it is, it's the truth. So she starts out talking about that But then somewhere in there, about at around the 4 minute mark, so most of the live or most of the podcast that she did was not about catching predators. It was actually about supporting predators. And I've seen many, many, many people use this tactic to draw people in. So now Roseanne has money, and I'm pretty sure that she can go and get surgery to make herself look different. But it's something strange about her right now. And, all I got to say is RIP because it's very strange. That's not Roseanne. Um, like I said, it's some kind of possession by something that is not of this planet. This planet is very feminine. Okay. This planet is very feminine. And so she starts talking about the Kinsey Institute and Alfred Kinsey, but then she starts talking about we need to bring back we need to bring back toxic what they call toxic masculinity because they start talking about Alfred Kinsey, then they start talking about porn and whether or not porn is ethical, which I don't agree with porn either. I don't like it on a personal aspect, okay? But then that's when Roseanne kicks in and she starts talking about um toxic masculinity and how men need to quit being pussies and we need to bring back what they call toxic masculinity. And that's where she lost me. Okay. Um, Here's the deal with what's going on, and this is what's going to happen. I don't have to sit around and talk about how patriarchy is wrong. I'm not going to do that. I'm no longer wasting my breath that I take into my body on that because we're not going to argue about that. We're not. As a woman, I'm not going to sit here and try to convince you of why I should have my personal rights and freedoms and liberties. I'm not going to do it. Okay. It just is what it is. They are already there. They will always be there. And I don't have to ask your permission to be free as a woman. I do not want some male, no matter what intelligence level he is, no matter what type of male he is, riding down on me trying to tell me what to do and guide and lead me when he really can't really guide or lead himself. So this is what's going to happen. What's going to happen is that Lilith is going to keep her gates open. The gates of hell are going to stay open. Women are going to be allowed to live in their own liberties. There's not going to be a requirement of being married in order to be respected. A woman doesn't need a man to be respected. A woman is not going to be at the foot of a man unless she chooses to be. But otherwise, we are not going to have men running around here subjugating, demeaning, graping, sodomizing women. We are not going to accept it. I don't care what you do. You're going to get stopped every way. We control the courtrooms. It is nothing that you can do about it. And women are going to get justice and peace. And that's all it is to it. The games are over. Game over. Okay. This sick stuff has been going on for quite some time. I know, love Lilith, because she's the one. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm just the messenger, but I am very devoted. Okay. We're not gonna have a society like that ever. Okay. First of all, if you feel as though women are out of control for what reason, I really didn't understand it. Whatever that spirit is, it's now using Roseanne Barr. Y'all get your protection up, because any man, that means that a child molester, an ex-convict, a drug dealer, a woman beater, is gonna be able to tell you what you need to do. And if you don't do what he says, then he gets to just do whatever he wants to do with you. We're never gonna live in that kind of society. And I thought it was weird because Roseanne brought up Utopia. Now I don't watch Roseanne all the time. I don't. Y'all know I've been talking about Utopia, and that's not Utopia. Okay. In fact, that's not even close to Utopia. Patriarchy actually blocks Utopia. And it's unreal. It's utterly unreal. However, y'all gotta understand, which is why I told y'all, Mercury is in retrograde. You have to take everything that you see and hear with a grain of salt right now, and I mean that. Take it with a grain of salt. Seriously. If we actually allow patriarchy to run amok, this world would be so much worse than what it is. Okay. Men like P. Diddy, there would be no arrest, there would be no justice, there would be no peace, and we're not gonna have that. Okay. No, it's not gonna happen. And I'm not saying that just because I have fear. I don't fear any man on this earth. That's why we have satanic protection from death. Okay. And a lot of that stuff that they're talking about, it's literally independent opinions, which Rose. Here's the thing about it that y'all got to be careful with. You cannot look at these famous people all the time and just agree with everything that they say. They are not God at all. And in fact, we don't have to worship them as if what they're saying is correct. And I think that it's fake anyway, because after she threw that in, you would think that all of the humans in her audience would say, whoa, 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 Roseanne, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Toxic masculinity, huh? So basically saying that back when men ran women, times were better. And that shows that something odd and strange is going on right now. And I can guarantee you that if something has not happened to Roseanne, or they ain't cloned her or something, she'll be back with a whole new tune. Mercury retrograde does tend to, like I said, open up these parallel universes. And you know first of all, in a utopian society, men are not doing that. If we were living in if there was utopia, utopia is not what Alfred Kinsey did. Only to a child molester would think that that's utopia. Okay. So, I don't, I think it's strange. I think it's weird. But like I said, whatever it is that other people are going through, and that's why I said whenever people say things that are upsetting like that, try not to let them upset you. Because they're just it's no. I mean, there was a time when women would have to stay married to abusive men, even if the man was abusing his children, even if the man was abusing the wife, even if the man was essaying the children, which it happens more often. That woman was not allowed to divorce that man. And so that's a very dangerous thing to be playing around with. And if the woman ever spoke out about what was happening, even with evidence, the man could literally put her in like a mental institution or something. So, those days we'll never see again. But again, there was a time when that happened. There was a time when men were literally given that kind of dominion over women, and that time is over. It was a very dark time in our society, and we ain't gonna never see that again. Okay. And again, it's only because of Mercury retrograde why it's even being brought back up, where a man could literally be saying the dumbest things to a woman, and he's like, you need to respect me, I'm a man. And that's not the way that it works. And patriarchy, all it does is contributes to a dumbed down society. That's all it does. Okay. So we're going to keep the gates of hell open. Hopefully the CERN machines are still going, because I like CERN. And whether or not they are or not, because, we're going to keep it open, and we just going to make sure that we cover ourselves and that we do the work that we know we need to do. Okay. All right, that's pretty much it. I will see y'all later. Make sure that y'all like, share, subscribe, and hit that thumbs up. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye bye. Blessings.